All right, Sara Contreras is with us,
Hola, hola, hola.
and we have a live feed going, so we are live, and she has a lot to say.
Oh,
And
do I? You told me to remove the pillow. I got rid of the pillow because I don't want to be comfortable.
that's all right. You could take your time and make yourself comfortable.
Well, I wore this shirt. I have to show you my shirt and I have to tell you the story.
Okay.
You see what it says?
It says, what does it say? Bionic bitches have bionic shoulders. Okay. All right. Gotcha.
And
Angela Lozada. Okay.
gratuitous also. But anyway,
Okay.
so that was a quote by Angelo Lozada,
Mm-hmm.
who, with everything that has been going on since he passed,
Mm-hmm.
I know he's pissed that he died when he did because he would have so much to say about everything that's going on.
Yeah. Oh, and there's no question about it. There's a few comedians that have passed that I wish were alive with what's going on. Greg Giraldo, Patrice O'Neill. I mean, of course, George Carlin, but that was a little bit earlier. But yeah. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So he would have had a lot to say about this. And the
Right.
reason why this t-shirt reminds me of this whole theme is because one of the problems that I had with everything that was going on with Chris Rock and Will
Will
Smith,
Smith.
and I'm going to jump right into it because I know
Go ahead.
is this whole notion that women need defending, that
Mhm.
women need protecting. That I remember that was the first thing I said. What's up with this fragile male ego?
Right. Okay.
I don't get that because I know for a fact that I can defend myself and I'm
Okay.
a bionic bitch. And if I have to tell someone, cut that shit out, I will.
Right.
I don't rely on my man to have to step in and speak for me. I am well versed at telling somebody what I need from them.
Right.
There have been times when something similar has happened where someone will make a comment at a show or something like that, and I see my man reacts, and I will literally go like that and say, "Baby, it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm so thick-skinned. It's
Yeah.
fine. Let it go."
Right.
And to me, that's what I thought
Okay.
Jada Pinkett should have done.
So when was it? Tuesday? Yeah. Today is Thursday. Yeah. So Tuesday, Dave Chappelle gets attacked on stage, and this seems to be. I sent you a couple of a video. I sent you a couple of video clips where when it happens to Dave Chappelle or Chris Rock, it becomes headline news. But it's happening to the small comedian like every week. It's getting to the point where either somebody is offended and they rush the stage, or somebody doesn't like what somebody said and they get physical. And it's I want to know what your opinion on it is, and what did you think happened with the Dave Chappelle scenario, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, I was heated. I don't know if you saw my posts
I did.
right after it happened. I mean, I went right in, and I hadn't even seen it, but I woke up the next day, and it was like everybody was
doing it,
and I was like, I couldn't get enough of it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness! Most of the people that were responding were against what happened and felt that it was inappropriate and wrong, and then you had a handful of people that were sort of defending Will Smith.
Mm-hmm.
And I think once that whole torrent of really, really bad vibes towards Will Smith started happening, I noticed sort of a change in attitude.
Mm-hmm.
But I immediately posted that morning because I wanted to stay relevant. I felt like I had a place to say something about it.
Mm-hmm.
And my post basically was, "You do not attack a comedian. That's what they're there to do.
Mm-hmm.
You're either going to get someone who's just going to do a real safe set, and that's fine. And then it's a spectrum, right? It's a there's no right or wrong way of doing it. It's either super clean and it's like that, or it goes and it runs that gamut of being edgy, controversial, and so on. So, my whole thing was it was absolutely unnecessary. I don't need anybody. I talked about that whole fragile male ego thing, and how I didn't need protecting. And I thought that it was completely ridiculous. And then to sit there and start cussing in front of everyone, to me, it had nothing to do with that. There was other stuff.
Oh, there's definitely other stuff going on. There's no question about it.
There's another hidden agenda.
Absolutely.
What I found interesting in response to that first post that I made, which is why I'm really glad that you invited me on, because I have wanted to respond to it, was I got a lot of vitriol. I got a lot of people who felt, A, that somehow this accent was white.
Okay.
As a white woman, as a Karen, I got called a Karen a couple of times.
Oh my God.
I had no business opining, and nobody said that. That's my word.
Okay.
Giving my opinion about that. Hair, black women have been teased, and I had nothing to say about black hair. As though people forget that the slave trade landed in Puerto Rico
Yeah, that's right.
before it landed here.
But it has nothing to do with And
I know, but I'm just saying, this is
yeah,
not, you know what this is? This is an hour with a blower.
yeah.
Yeah. Watch this hair wet. I don't want anyone to tell me that because I'm not black, I have nothing to say about it.
That's ridiculous. Yeah,
There are
that's absolutely.
plenty of women that have issues with their hair. And this, I know. I mean, I know what my grandfather looked like. I know what my mother's color was.
Hmm.
I really got offended by that. It was like, really, like, know your place. Like, why wouldn't I be able to comment on that? A. B. I'm a comic.
Yeah, right.
You're damn right I have an opinion about it. So that was the stuff that bothered me. And then I did a follow-up about that. And I got really good feedback from a lot of people who said,
Good.
absolutely, you're entitled to your opinion. And if you want to say something about hair, go for it.
Right.
I have a straight line. That's what people don't understand. I just have a little bit more straightness to it. But my hair is this right here. Yeah, this the motherland. Right? Yeah, this the motherland.
Like,
put a little water on that, and you'll see what that really looks like. So
I am as you know, I'm a huge fan of comics, huge fan, and comedians are one of the last truth tellers to be able to say something and not be and not have any kickback for it, like, and it's been going on forever. I mean, if a joke isn't true, it's not funny. A joke has to have some truth to it in order to be
right.
in order to be funny, right? And if you can't make a controversial joke, then what I think is going to happen is I think comedians are just going to veer to the safer joke, and then you kill comedy.
What's the point?
Yeah, and then you kill comedy. And then another thing that bothers me about this whole thing is, like, comedy clubs are one of the last places that are fun to go to, very safe, very affordable. And if this thing continues, if this attacking comedians continues, the only way comedy clubs are going to be able to stay in business, exactly, is if they hire security. You're going to have 2-hour lines to check to see if anybody's got weapons and so on and so forth. And then the prices are just going to go up.
True.
And then they're going to have security constantly, and the interaction, which makes comedy clubs so sought after, the interaction between the comedian and the
it's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen, right? The comedian and the Jesus Christ, the audience is just not going. It's not going to be there, and it's sad. It really is. I honestly think that this is everybody gets a trophy. My feelings are hurt generation, all grown up, and now we're seeing the effects of it now. Right?
You know when it started? Do you remember? I think it was one of those Meet the Parent films when he had the mediocrity wall.
Oh, yes. Yeah. That's right. That's right. With Barbra Streisand and Dustin Hoffman. Yeah.
We are going to give an accolade to anything that you do.
Yeah. He had an 8th place ribbon.
Your feelings are hurt.
Yeah.
And I get that, right? We don't necessarily want the competition, but it's not a bad thing. Right. Having been the smartest one in my entire school. But it just goes back to that thing of everybody has feelings, and we have to take care of everybody's feelings. I don't know that that's what comedians are supposed to be doing.
They're not.
I don't know that we're supposed to be making everyone feel good at the end of the night. Yeah, you laugh, but people laugh at different things.
Yeah.
I, for one, and you've seen my comedy. I'm not an insult comic. That's not my style. I don't particularly like it.
Yeah.
But if that's your style and you have an audience that loves it, I'm just not necessarily going to catch that show, or I'm not going to You know,
Yeah, like
my
if you don't like Dave Chappelle, shut
just
his
don't
show off.
know. I
Yeah.
remember years ago when Trump first came. Oh, I said his name. When the monster took office,
That's all
somewhere,
right.
Wanda, there was a whole article,
Oh, right.
people walking, summarily, just people leaving the show.
Mhm.
Why would you buy tickets to go see Wanda?
Yeah, you know what's coming, and
You
that's
know what's coming. You
yeah,
know she couldn't stand him.
yeah,
She was vocal about it. She was
yeah, right,
unapologetic about it.
right,
So why would you get a ticket to go? It's like buying a pair of size 6 shoes, and you're a size 9. It
right.
just is not going
Yeah,
to fit.
yeah,
So you figure it out.
yeah, exactly.
But don't
Mike,
expect that 9 to cut the tip. Don't expect the person who made the 9 shoe cut the tip off to make it fit you better. You're gonna look stupid walking around
Yeah.
without a heel or without toes on your shoe.
My concern is the small time comic that's trying to get somewhere right now, and then he has to edit out whatever. Oh, that might be too controversial. Oh, I don't want to go there. They're not going to hire me at this place. I don't know if that audience is good enough. Is good for this material, and you're limiting somebody's art
Yeah.
because of society, and
And
art is supposed to be a reflection of society.
I respect those people who don't alter. I tend to be the wuss that I walk
Right,
in and I go, I don't know. And then at the end of the show, I'm like, fuck, I should have just done that material. It would have been
right,
great. I
yeah,
respect that because I wish I had that type of confidence in a sense, like
yeah,
unapologetically Angelo, Patrice, a Bill Burr,
right,
they just do what they do, and so what?
yeah.
You can like it or you can not like it, but what you cannot do is go up on that stage or take the mic. And even heckling, I find heckling so obnoxious.
It
Other
is.
people paid not to hear your big mouth.
That's right. It's absolutely ridiculous. But there was a time where you wanted to get heckled. You know what I mean? Like anytime I had gone to a comedy show, I always tried to get in the front row. You know,
You're the pain in the ass.
yeah, yeah. Like I mean, if you got back in the day, if you got heckled by what was his name, oh god, Don
Mhm.
Rickles. If you got heckled by Don Rickles, like that was like
A
a
badge of
badge.
honor.
Yeah, you wanted
Yeah.
to get heckled by Don Rickles and
Yeah.
talk about blunt. Oh my god,
Yeah.
it's
So, but we knew him to be a gentle person. It
yeah,
was just his shtick. Lisa Lampanelli is a doll. She would go
right.
out there and sell half the world, but she was a really, really sweet person.
Yeah,
So it's
absolutely.
a part of that persona. But this is dangerous because I don't have Dave Chappelle dollars. Did you see the damage they did? His arm was like he looked like a Picasso painting as they were taking the guy out who attacked Chappelle.
Yeah, they stomped him out pretty bad. I hate to interrupt, but this person just
Kevin
said,
Samuels.
yeah, he is. Please
What?
speak on this. I don't know. I just the
What?
Neo. You're the first person I heard of this. Kevin Samuels has a huge podcast YouTube channel. It's like over 1 million subscribers, and
Yeah, no.
he does dating and manosphere, and I had no
Yes.
idea.
Wow. Yeah, Death Report. Rumors
How the hell did he
about
die?
misogynistic dating guru
Yeah. I love that. Yeah.
go viral 1 hour ago.
Uh,
Unverified death reports about self-proclaimed relationship guru. All right.
yeah. Look at this.
Better known for divisive. Oh, that's a nice obituary thing to say. Commentary about Black women in particular has reportedly died. Oh, damn. All right.
Yeah, Atlanta police told me they were unable to locate it. Yeah, man. You know, next time if
Wow.
I hope it's not true. I'm just relaying the message. That I appreciate it,
Thank you.
Neo. But you know, I if I had more info, I would speak on it. But I don't have enough info. You know, I hate to not speak on it. I probably
And they
will.
can say it's a rumor too, so it's like, wow.
Yeah,
Really?
that kind of.
Oh, a cardiac arrest.
Oh, he had a heart
Damn.
attack. Really? Oh
That's
God.
rough.
Yeah.
I could speak on that, honey. I just got
Yeah, it's
coronary
unfortunate.
artery
But
disease. Yeah.
did you really?
Yeah. Unbelievable. I run 3 New York City marathons. I don't eat
Wow.
meat, haven't eaten meat since 78. Don't drink. Smoke weed, and I just got diagnosed because of my mama's genes. You may have
Oh, that's good.
diagnosed.
No, I'm glad you're doing well. I mean, that's yeah, bro. I love your content, but it's hard to believe I'm not believing it.
That's
Uh,
sad.
yeah, it is sad. I'm sorry, Neo. I thank you
Oh,
very
it's
much. First of all, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Things. With social media, you could talk on one topic, and then 3 seconds later, something else happens.
yeah.
So unfortunately, I'd like to stick to the topic and then find out what happened to Kevin Samuels a little later on, and then
People have
and
more
then
information about it.
do
Yeah.
another live feed later on about
It
it.
looks like
But
a real thing. But this is really getting out of control, and it's all part of this ridiculous cancel culture.
yeah, it's
That
absolutely.
if you say something, you know what really pissed me off? Do you remember when who's the comedian who became a congressman? Franken.
Oh, Al Franklin. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. The guy from Saturday Night
I
Live.
didn't want him to like quit, but there was so much pressure. He knew what was coming. I mean, it was accusations, but it's like people are guilty until they're proven innocent.
Right.
You got to be real careful now. And so
Absolutely.
it just feels like you don't know where the heat is going to come from, where it can end a career.
Yeah. Oh,
And,
yeah. Absolutely.
and now, it starts with canceling this. Now they're canceling abortion. Next, they're going to cancel LGBTQ. I mean, it's just part and parcel, I think, of this weird type of morality that's
Yeah.
coming. I mean, for me, I'm not a religious person, and I still say all of this boils down to that bullshit Christian um, uh, 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 conservative Christianity.
Mm-hmm.
All this is coming down to you have to do this way. My way is the only way. There's no room for discussion. There's no room for anything diverse.
Mm-hmm.
It all comes down to it has to be something that we like. No cursing, no sex, no. Meanwhile, we all know how they really live, right?
Yeah. Right.
What they do in person, right? So I don't know where it's going to lead, but I think it's part and parcel of everything that's going on in this country.
Yeah.
We're fussing about all this other stuff, but to ignore everything that's going on in this country and not connect it where people feel that this violence is the answer.
Mm-hmm.
Where now, anything happens right away, it's got to become a fight to the finish.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous.
Gun has to come out or a knife. He was on stage with a knife.
Yeah, he had a fake gun that was a knife.
Was it a knife?
I believe so. Yeah, and here's also the word. See,
oh my God.
The thing is, he got to Dave Chappelle. That's the scary part. That's the scary part. He got to him.
Where was security?
Yeah, I mean,
in the back.
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know how security's laid out for Dave Chappelle shows. I have no clue. But he got to Dave, so it could have been a lot worse. So Dave has the money to have great security and so on and so forth, and they still got to him. It's there's young comedians coming up that are going to suffer.
Yeah,
they really are. They're going to suffer. They're going to sway their comedy. They're going to say, I don't know if I should say this or if I should say that, so on and so forth. And
they're going to censor themselves.
I think, yeah, they're going to censor themselves, and I think this is going. I think there's going to be another incident like this.
There's going to be plenty.
Yeah, I think we're going to see in the next 3 to 6 weeks another one, something similar to this. Where
I think before that, I think I posted that yesterday. Yeah. That's what I said. That's exactly what I knew was going to happen.
Right.
It's an open season on comics.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying. He knocked him down.
Yeah.
That knife could have gutted him. And Dave Chapelle's a big dude, man.
Yeah. It could have ended a lot worse. It really could have ended a lot worse.
He was very lucky, I think. And you know what? Listen, as far as the content, that's the other thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people do not like him. I love people who hate Dave Chappelle.
Right.
I love Dave Chappelle. So does that create conflicts? Yes, it does.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But I still believe that even though people don't like what he's saying, again, turn it off. Don't watch it. Don't buy his albums. Don't buy his don't participate in any of it.
That's it.
And I don't necessarily agree with all of it, but I think he still has the right to say it. And he has the right to. Nowadays, you just can't say anything. I also don't feel like Roland should be canceled.
Who we talking
about?
Rogan, Joe Rogan?
No, Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
I can't believe I'm blanking out on her name.
Oh, it's okay.
The author, Roland.
Oh, okay.
Here. about speaking out, not necessarily against trans lives or any of that. She has questions about it, right?
Right.
She asked what I thought were legitimate questions. And I feel that way. I feel like here's my opinion. Tolerance works both ways.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It works both ways.
Yeah.
It's new. It's different to people like me who come from another generation.
That's right.
And so it's not like I bristle, but I just don't understand all of it.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily agree that I don't like the term pregnant people.
Yeah. No,
That's me.
I agree. That's absolutely
I like
ridiculous.
it.
That's
I don't
ridiculous.
like it, and
Yeah.
that's
No.
just
No.
me. Now,
And the only women get pregnant. I'm
now,
sorry.
will I treat someone differently? Absolutely
Well,
not.
no, that's the thing. I will still respect somebody, even though I don't agree with their lifestyle or I don't agree with their political agenda. I'm still going to treat you with respect. I've had trans people on my show. I've had a trans woman on my show. She was a trans woman who was a world champion arm wrestler. Now, I didn't agree with it, but I still treated her with respect and gave her the platform to speak on what she was going through. When she won the world title, they actually booed her when she was going up because she's not a biological man.
Oh, so she kept wrestling.
She kept arm wrestling as a woman. When she was a man, she was only a decent amateur, and then she turned into a woman and became a world champion. And you gotta expect, you gotta expect some pushback. I mean,
those hormones don't kill everything.
They really
diminish
don't.
the muscles. They don't diminish the muscle memory.
No,
we've forgotten about muscle memory. And
it's never
comes up though. We never talk about muscle memory.
And all we have to do is you just it doesn't happen when you flip it around. So when a girl becomes a guy, she doesn't take over men's sports. It only happens when a guy becomes a girl and she takes over women's sports. Your reaction time doesn't change as a man to a woman, even though a man's is faster. When women take testosterone, women take estrogen and have higher estrogen and lower testosterone. So what happens is these trans women has to take estrogen.
Right.
Estrogen actually preserves bone density.
That's exactly right.
So you still have the bone density of a man.
That's being preserved.
Yeah.
As you're functioning as a woman. And those are real things. It's by bringing it up, we're not denigrating. We're not saying you can't exist. We're not saying that. We're just saying you have to understand how people may push back on that. And that doesn't mean we're saying you don't have a right to exist. We're trying to find a better in-between spot.
Right.
Lord knows if you say anything, immediately you're branded as a bigot, as an
anti-trans or whatever,
anti-trans, anti-progress, and that's the last thing I am.
Yeah,
but I've had that happen, and I'm just like, do you not know who I am? Do you not know how open-minded I am?
Right.
But I bristle.
Well, it's getting to the point where if you have anything to say that doesn't agree with the agenda, then it's you can't say anything.
I mean, if you speak out about Israel, you're an anti-Semite.
Right.
It's just not, people have just got to listen first and respond later, and not react later. Respond, and that's what happens. Everybody is just ready to react. Everybody's ready to get into it and start arguing. And meanwhile, the economy's falling. I don't think it's falling apart, but we're facing nuclear war and
crazy things are happening.
Worried about stuff that we should be disagreeing, or we should be actually agreeing on and standing together against what's happening. That to me is the bigger issue.
Comedy used to be something that you just everybody enjoyed, and it was just a getaway, and you watched Don Rickles and he was insulting, but it was hilarious at the same time, and it was something everybody could agree on. And if you're going to destroy, it's going to be a slippery slope. If you're going to destroy that kind of art, what's next? You're going to burn books. I mean,
doing it already.
Yeah.
They are banning books.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
That's the whole point. It's part of a bigger cultural shift right now. Books are no good. Discussions about race are no good. Discussions of history are becoming problematic for people. And we expect them to tolerate any other things that are going on, any other societal changes. They don't even want to deal with what really happened Never mind what could happen.
Right.
It's scary. Honestly, I've been around a long time. I have never been this frightened. I thought I would never be more scared during the Reagan years.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is really scaring me on so many different levels. Because, like I said, if you start to really put it all together, it's we're living in really tricky times.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. Absolutely. And comics are not supposed to be scared. They're
Right.
not supposed to be scared. Comics are supposed to be they're supposed to be admired for being able to say what everybody else wants to say but can't say it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and now you're even shaming them, and you're saying, no, you can't do that. Well, you know what? It takes somebody like Dave Chapelle to say, tough shit, I'm still saying it.
Yeah.
You know, and if you don't like it, like you said, you could just not watch my Netflix special. Tune into something else you want to watch. You know, it was Larry Flint that when he was on the witness stand about Hustler magazine, he said, if you don't like Hustler magazine, don't buy it. You know, Howard Stern said it about his radio show. You don't like my show, turn it into another show. And it's the same thing. And I don't understand why there's this whole army of people, for lack of a better term, that needs to shut you down because they don't agree with you.
Right.
You
I mean,
know?
I used to think, I remember thinking at a time, like in my early to mid 20s, I was very political. I was an activist at that time. And I remember that my position back then was, and this was way before comedy, right? I was still 20 years away from comedy and, well, 15 years.
Mhm.
And I remember saying my position was that free speech is limited when it becomes hate speech.
Okay.
Right? So we were against Nazis. We were against the Klan.
Right.
That was hate speech. These were people that were actively espousing violence
Right.
against another group of people based on their skin color or their ethnic origin. That's where I felt free speech had to end.
Mhm.
And I still kind of feel that way. But then I became a comedian and I saw. Oh, sorry about that.
That's all right. Go ahead.
My sister trying to figure out whether she should date a younger guy. And she's asking me for advice. There you go.
Oh God. Okay.
So, then I became a comedian, and you start to understand that free speech is a like you said, a slippery slope.
Yeah.
I still don't believe, if somebody got up on stage and said that it was okay to punch someone out, that kind of stuff is kind of like, But I just feel like that's where it ends for me. If it gets to the place where I think something violent is going to come out of it because, a comedian is saying something, but that's about it. But I won't do it. And that's the difference. Like I just recently spoke to somebody and I told them that, that I had, that I worked as a speech therapist with special ed kids.
Mm.
They said, you don't talk about that on stage? And I go, I just don't feel necessarily comfortable with it because that's kind of near and dear to my heart. Now, have I sat in an audience and laughed my ass off when I heard somebody do a really, really funny joke that that was related to in some way a school or a teacher or a situation? Yes.
Right.
I might not do it, but you know what? It was funny.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go, oh my God, I can't believe he did that.
Yeah. He just said that. Right.
But I'm not gonna go, oh, he's the worst comic. I'm not gonna ever come to him, and I'm certainly not gonna write something up and destroy his career or her career because it's about special ed or it's about children or teachers or anything like that.
Yeah. Right.
I'm not gonna do that.
No, it's kind of scary. I don't know. I think the generations are going to get worse. It seems like the college kids, Gen Z, are the worst as far as the safe zones and.
You think they're more sensitive?
Yeah, I think it's going to get worse before it gets any better. To be honest with you, I do. I really think because you go to college and like I said, there are safe spaces that they have and. Speech is violence, which it obviously isn't. They shutting down somebody's other opinion because you don't agree with it. So I think it's just going to kind of get worse and worse and worse, to be honest with you. Look, there are free speech is basically having to deal with somebody else saying something that you don't agree with, and he or she is screaming it at the top of their lungs, and at the same time you can do the same,
Mm-hmm.
and if you
By
take that,
listening to each other, that's the whole
yeah,
point.
if you take that away, then you don't have a free society anymore.
That's the problem, because
You
that's what
know,
I was told you. I'm afraid of what's happening in this
yeah,
country
yeah,
right now.
yeah. I think a
I'm
lot of people are.
very afraid. I think that these are just the little micro aggressions and all of the things that we're seeing now that are going to lead to. I don't know. I sound like so gloom and doom, and I hate being that way.
No, but it happens to be true. I mean, it really happens to be true. 10 years ago, comedy was edgy. The guys were saying things that nobody would ever think of
Nobody
saying,
reacted to it.
and nobody reacted to it. And now all of a sudden, the pendulum has swung where all comedians are going, "Oh, I don't know. How am I going to change my material so I don't get canceled, so I don't piss a particular amount of people off?" And I see the '80s politically correct comedy coming back again.
Mm.
I see that kind of comedy coming back. Like I see the relationship comedy. How I'm the stupid husband at home comedy coming back. Things like that. The stuff that's not. Yeah, exactly. And I see it a lot. And it is boring.
It's boring. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not like I said, I'm not. I used to cuss and fuss a lot more when I first started doing comedy.
Mm.
I kind of settled into maybe being a little bit more clean, but that was so much fun.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
It
right.
was fun.
Yeah.
I loved it. Like I think back, and people sometimes tell me, "Wow, your style's really changed a lot." I don't know. I don't know why that happened. I'm not really even sure how that what that evolution was.
Mm.
I'm comfortable with it,
Right.
but I will be damned. Like I'm at the point now where I'm thinking about carrying like a little thing of pepper spray and just keeping it on me. And anybody that comes at me, I hope you're not going to check my mic because you're going to get sprayed.
Yeah, I don't blame you, and I don't think you're the only person that's going
Yeah.
to be doing that. Yeah, I don't think that's. I especially I think especially like the starting comics, the up and coming comics. I think female comics. I think it's gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna do this, but I have to protect myself. I have to protect myself
You
from
have to,
being a comedy. I mean,
you know how crazy that sounds?
it's absolutely
Yeah. And
ridiculous.
I thought that the worst part about coming back on stage after the pandemic was somebody just getting too close to me to take a picture with me. That's what I was afraid of. Like I think doing
Right.
that after show stuff where you're making contacts and giving out cards and I love you. I
Mhm,
was just so worried about doing that because
mhm,
of
mhm.
COVID. And who would have thought that that's like the last thing on my mind right now? Maybe not the
Right.
last thing, but I certainly am. Most of the venues I've worked at, you know, I don't necessarily feel unsafe, but who knows? That looked like it could have been. Look how safe he thought he was.
Yeah, listen, if they got to Dave Chappelle, that's got to say something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
And that was somebody who was obviously, we don't know what his agenda was, right? They haven't
we
spoken.
don't. Yeah, we don't know about him yet.
We don't know anything yet. They
Yeah,
haven't really published anything about his age,
no.
his background, and so on and so forth.
Mm-mm.
He just looked, oh,
Yeah, he got a beaten. Yeah, they got to
he
give.
got
They
a
gave him.
beating. And I'm not
Yeah.
one for violence, but
No. Well, yeah. No. Sometimes
I was not
it,
upset about that.
Do you remember the a couple of weeks
I
ago
got terribly
the Mike Tyson thing where those kids in the airplane were like
Mm-hmm.
teasing him, and it's like, okay, and then finally Mike Tyson just snapped.
You win Mike Tyson.
Yeah, exactly. This is what's I think it's the generation that has no consequences, and now they're feeling consequences. It's like I could say anything, and it's about my feelings, and I don't care about offending somebody or stopping a show or being annoying, and then they get it,
Yeah.
and it's I don't condone violence, but I kind of applaud it because at least they're feeling consequences, if you will.
That's
I mean?
when that whole thing happened, I remember one of the things I said in the post, which is what a lot of people said. I don't condone violence, but
Yeah.
he was insulting her hair, and he's her husband, so he's supposed to step in and defend her. And my whole thing was, if you say I don't condone violence, but you condone violence.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
So I
No,
kind of
right,
mad. I'm
right, right.
kind of glad they fucked that guy up. So
Yeah, they really did.
you
They
either
gave
do or
him,
you don't. But
yeah,
sometimes they have to
necessary.
do it. He was
Yeah,
gonna hurt him.
yeah,
He was gonna
absolutely.
hurt him. You know what I did? I texted Marshall Brandon,
Okay.
who's on tour with him now, who
Mhm.
I used to work with for many, many years, and I had his number. So I
Mm.
texted him and I said, dude, were you there? Like, give me the inside scoop.
Yeah,
He
right.
was like, nah, I was backstage. I didn't. He's a big, beefy guy.
Yeah,
Like, he
yeah,
was
yeah.
not like the same size as Dave, right? But
Uh-huh.
Marshall's got like this real hard look, but he's a sweetheart. I
Right.
don't even know him, but he's really, really funny. So he's touring with him. He says, nah, it was just his team. We were in the back. I was like, oh man, I want some insider scoop.
Yeah, that would have been pretty good.
I
But
want an insider scoop for you for this discussion tonight.
absolutely, is I could
Wasn't
take
good enough.
whatever I could take whatever I get. Are you kidding?
He's probably
Absolutely.
got a big old NDA too, working with
Chappelle.
Dave Chapelle, yeah. But what I said on that very first tape, I said was, Will Smith is a wuss because he went up there because he knew that Chris Rock wasn't going to do anything.
Right.
I said, no one would do that to Dave Chappelle.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
or
You know,
a bigger comic or a bigger husky or mofo.
yeah. Well, I mean, he
And Chris
yeah,
Rock handled it like a pro.
yeah, he did. I think the shock value also too. I think there's a big shock value because, there's a lot of guys saying, "Oh, if he did that to me, if he did that," I'm like, I don't think so, man.
His brother.
Yeah.
His brother was shooting it off. Like, really? You're gonna, in front of everybody, I mean, if you get hit, he was within his right.
Yeah.
Slap the shit out of Will Smith right back.
Yeah. But I think that it was just so shocking that because you could see him. He was like, what just
I felt
happened?
real bad for him, honestly. And to see him afterwards, remember when he was standing there and he was just kind of like,
exactly. Yeah. Like what do I do here?
He's trying to kind of like look at somebody like, I don't know.
And I guarantee you, like he went backstage or he went home and was like questioning like his manhood. Should I have hit him back? Should I have walked off stage? What should I have done? Because I've been in situations where that's happened, where it's like, all right, somebody did something and man, I should have did this or I should have did that or I should have did this, but you don't expect it when it happens. And you go, oh,
You know what it's called?
What?
Impulse control.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
What we teach our 5-year-olds.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
I
Yeah.
go straight to kindergarten.
Right.
You have to catch your breath. Is this the best response? And then, you know what I teach my kids in therapy?
What?
I tell them, when someone does something really awful, your mama's ugly, your mama fat, your mama this, your mama that. You tell them, I don't agree with you. That's your opinion. Have a nice day.
Yeah. And you just keep it moving.
All my kids know that. Nah, they're gonna do it. I don't know, but that's my job to teach them.
Right.
To do that.
Right.
Now,
exactly.
every once in a while, you gotta punch somebody in the face.
Yeah, it's the truth, though. It really is. It's the God's honest
I did that on stage the other day. Right after it happened, I said, raise your hand if you've been walked out of your home in handcuffs for punching someone in the face.
Right.
And about 2 or 3 other people raised their hands. I said, you can't go through life like that.
Right.
The first time that happens, you go, oh my God, I could have lost my professional license. I might have lost my kids at that point.
Yeah, too many things to lose, right?
There's too much to lose. It's just stupid. And somebody like like Will Smith clearly has other issues. Like we said.
Oh, 100%. There's no question about it. There's no question about it.
Did you hear my comment? You saw my TikTok? I said maybe instead of telling him to keep his wife's mouth out of his wife's name out of his mouth, maybe he should have told August to keep his wife's ass out of his mouth.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I
got heat over that too.
I mean, listen.
I'm comic. It was just supposed to be funny.
No, but it's the truth.
I thought it was clever.
It really is true. That smack was not supposed to be for Chris Rock. It was supposed to be for August Alsina, whatever the hell his name is. It was that built up. It's what can I do to preserve whatever manhood I have left in me, right? And then once she gave him the side eye, he was like, oh, because he would rather deal with the consequences of smacking Chris Rock than her at home.
He would rather give up the damn Oscar.
Yeah,
He kind of knew it was coming. He did it anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. And that fake bullshit cry at the end.
I didn't see it. Like I said, I didn't see any of it. But from what I saw, with the replays, and then they did the different angles, and she was just sitting there enjoying all of it. And then he said something, and she rolled her eyes, and you could see Will Smith like, and I got to do something because of this.
Right.
I think a lot that smack was about everything that's been going on in his life, the choices that he's made.
Yes.
He is committed to not getting divorced.
Yeah.
There are a lot of families that really feel it is not an option.
Yeah.
And they just stay with it and they figure it out, whichever way they have to figure it out. And that was his way of just venting, but it was the wrong way. We have a word for him in Spanish. It's an awful word.
Well, Maria's from Puerto Rico, and she said, so let's say it. What's the word?
Thank you, Maria. Saludos de Puerto Rico, la isla del encanto, preciosa.
So tell us what the word is. Well, now I have to Google it. Pop. Oh, okay. All right.
Maria, am I wrong? Ese es un mamau. That's what you call a guy like that.
Let's see if she responds.
Yeah, she's like que suciana. That's a really it's not a kind word.
Oh, there we go.
But it's somewhat. It's like someone. That's what Will Smith was.
Okay.
And that is what he is in life. I don't know Jada. Don't know much about her. A lot of people have said she's overdoing this Tupac thing, that he was not as in love with her as she was in love with him. I don't know that much about her. I have a lot of respect for her in the sense that I do think that her Red Table Talk was a great idea. 3 generations sitting down and tackling issues. Wonderful. I do, I have respect for her on that end, but I do think that, I don't know that much about alopecia. I don't know if the actual hair loss is I don't know if alopecia, I know it's a condition. I know. And when people have it, when women have it, I can only speak on the women who I know who have had it. It looks different than what she is describing as her hair loss.
Yeah.
So she chose to shave her. I saw a bald head, not a head that has been afflicted.
Yeah, she's been rocking that bald head for years. I don't.
Hello.
Yeah, and
hello.
The whole Will Smith thing. It's he's been cuckolded for a long time now. He's been cooked for a long time now. I mean, you go back, you just go. You gotta. Yeah.
Cuckold?
Yeah. Right. Okay. You just all you got to do is look what his eldest son's name is, and that tells you all you need to know. His name is Jaden. Named after Jada.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. And then if you look at what
an older son, you mean his oldest with her?
Right, his oldest.
My celebrity knowledge around now.
And then you look at his daughter's name, and it's named after him, Willow. That's all you need to know, right?
I get it. Look, I get it. Me personally, the one they a couple of months ago they did a survey. Who of these 4 have to go? And it was like Will Smith. I don't know who it was. It was like 5 or 6 different actors who were gone.
Yeah, right.
I did not even blink. I went, Will.
Oh yeah, me too.
This was before it happened.
Oh yeah.
Because me personally, I always thought he was overrated.
Yeah.
I always thought that his talent was so. I did not like his rapping.
No, I wasn't a fan of his hip hop. Yeah.
His hip hop was weak, and we all knew it.
Yeah, absolutely.
We all knew it.
Yeah,
he was Will Smith, so but I always thought that he was a little bit overrated. And then I don't like Hollywood that they give the same person role after role after role after role.
Yeah.
And there are hundreds of actors that are looking for that big break and could really do it
and really use it. Yeah, absolutely.
You don't pay as much, and maybe the tickets don't have to be as high. But I was never a big Will Smith fan. So when he did.
Yeah, he did a couple of movies that I liked. I liked
Concussion.
Yes, I liked Concussion. I liked Ali. I liked the Ali movie.
I liked Ali.
But
he was no Jamie Foxx in Ray.
No. Jamie. I feel the same. I feel like Will Smith gets more notoriety and Jamie Foxx doesn't get enough.
And he deserves it more.
Yeah, I think Jamie Foxx is so much more talented, but whatever. All right, so let us know what's going on with Sara Contreras in the future. What's happening?
Oh goodness. I just found out a show got canceled tomorrow.
Oh,
Not enough ticket sales in Passaic. It happens. It happens. It's Mother's Day weekend. Sunday, I'm going to be at SOB's in New York on Barrack Street. That's going to be a fun show with Angel Salazar and his crazy ass self, and Imagine, a Big Joe production. And then I'm going to the Bahamas.
Very nice.
On Thursday to do a show out there.
Very
so I'm
nice.
there for about 4 days, and then I get back from the Bahamas, and then I'm going to Puerto.
Wow, what a life you got! Holy shit!
I'm complaining about my life. So then I go to Puerto Rico for a week, and then we come back, and then I work a couple of weeks, and then I'm going to Puerto Rico for this. And then June 10th and 11th, I start my big tour with El Gran Combo.
Oh, that's very nice. That's right. We spoke about that last time.
Iconic band out of Puerto Rico, El Gran Combo de Puerto Rico, who handpicked me to be a comedian. So that's a lot of pressure. I'm going to be doing probably 15 to 20 minutes, mostly all in Spanish, which I've done before. But this is going to be a lot of fun because it's only going to be about, I don't know, about 10,000 people.
That's fantastic.
I'm excited about
great.
it.
That's
and
fantastic.
And then while I'm in Puerto Rico, I'm trying to put together a show out there. And I'm going to be connecting next week, in 2 weeks, with a couple of comedy clubs out there and see if I can just sort of, shake hands and see if I can catch people coming off cruise ships and see if we can do shows out on the island now. Where will you be showing in Puerto Rico? I'm going to be hopefully putting a show together for the summer. As soon as I have it, I will be posting it. It'll be in English and Spanish, probably in the San Juan area. And then when I get back in October, we go full swing into the tour. And I'm really hoping that I get Osaka and Brussels and Madrid.
Oh, very nice, very nice. I'm sure you will. They'd have to be crazy not to. You're a tremendous talent.
So. You got the outfits I got. Never mind the talent. $88 on Frank's leggings that are fierce.
Okay, I gotta check them out.
Right up there. And you got to come out there with the taka 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 taka.
Yeah.
Now I'm doing more like comfort clothes for stage. In case I gotta fuck someone up.
Yeah.
Somebody come up on stage because bionic. See that?
That's right, bionic bitches.
That's right. So I got a couple of really. Remember Charo? Do you remember Charo?
Sure, absolutely. She was smoking hot.
Iris Chacón.
I don't remember that.
Tú eres caramelo chocolate. Look up Iris Chacón. You will do yourself a favor.
Okay. All right, I will definitely do that.
That was the baddest Puerto Rican chick for a minute.
Okay, I'll definitely check it out.
So that's
Sara, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for inviting me anytime. I love these talks. I think you are an amazing podcast.
Thank you.
I don't know what the word would be. Host.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Tell Alyssa I said hi.
I will. She's downstairs right now.
Yes.
All right, Sara. Thank you very much. We'll keep in touch.
Okay, darling.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.